Welcome back. In the previous video, I showed you how to access a user's mailbox using a web client. Well, in this video, I want to turn my attention to a more traditional client. Specifically, I want to show you how to install and configure Outlook 2016. So here you can see that I'm running Windows 10. And if I go up here and click on the Start button, you'll notice that Windows 10 does have its own built-in mail client. You can see it right here. But this mail client leaves a little bit to be desired because if you look down here, you'll notice that we have a separate tile for calendar. So whereas Outlook gives you a more consolidated experience where you get the calendar, the mail client, and a few other things all in one app, the built-in tools in Windows 10 use separate apps for everything. So that's part of the reason why I want to install Outlook 2016. The other reason, of course, is that Outlook 2016 is Microsoft's preferred mail client. So with that said, let's go ahead and install it. Now there are a couple of different ways that you can do this. One way is to use Office 365. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Office 365. Here I am on the admin screen. And if you look over here on the right, you'll notice that we have an option to download software. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So if you look here, you can see that we have an option to install Office 365 Pro Plus with the 2013 apps. And here's a list of all of the apps that will be installed. And if I scroll down just a little bit, you can see that we can select the language, and Office 365 attempts to install the 32-bit version by default. So if we want the 64-bit version, which I do recommend, we would just click Advanced and go down here and choose 64-bit and then click Install. But there's a problem. If I scroll back up, you'll notice that this is the 2013 apps. And we have a message over here, how do I get the new 2016 apps? Well, the reason why this message is showing up is because at the time that this video was being recorded, most of the Office 2016 apps have been completed, but not all of them. So because Microsoft doesn't have 2016 versions of all of these apps right now, my particular Office 365 plan is limited to downloading Office 2013. So that being the case, we can't really use Office 365 to install these particular apps. Now, you should be able to do this by the time that you get this video, but right now it's just a little bit early. So because I can't use Office 365 to install Outlook 2016, what I want to do instead is just install from a DVD. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I'm going to open up File Explorer and go to this PC, and you'll notice that conveniently enough, I have my Office 2016 DVD already in the drive. So I'll go ahead and open this up and run Setup. And now you can see a prompt saying that Office is being installed. Now this takes a few minutes to complete, so I'm just going to pause the video and wait for the next step. Okay, so it looks like we're all set. Office has been installed, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I'll close this dialog box. Okay, so now that we've finished installing Microsoft Office 2016, I want to go ahead and open up Outlook and show you what it looks like and how you get to it. So I'm not going to worry about going into an exhaustive list of features and capabilities and demonstrating how to use Outlook because Outlook's been around for long enough. I think most people probably know how to use it, but I at least want to show you how to access it and let you see what it looks like. So I'm on a Windows 10 desktop, and I'm just going to click the Start button, and I'm going to click All Apps, and here's a list of all of the applications that are installed on this machine. Most of this is just default apps that were installed as a part of the Windows installation process. So as I scroll through the list, here we have a folder, Microsoft Office 2016 Tools. If I expand that, you can see that these aren't really the Office apps themselves, but rather just complementary tools that go along with some of the apps. So I'll scroll down a little bit more. And now we start getting into some of the Office applications. Here's OneNote 2016, and here's Outlook 2016. So the first thing that I probably want to do is make this a little bit easier to get to. So I'm just going to right click on it, and I'm going to say Pin to Start, and that's going to pin Outlook to the Start menu. Now, admittedly, my Start menu is a little bit cluttered, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of these default apps. So I'm just going to right click on one of these and say Unpin from Start, and we can do a few others as well. And if this were a production environment, you would probably want to customize this a bit more than what I've done here. But I just wanted to make enough room that I could move this tile to a spot where it was a little bit easier to get to. So I'm just going to put the tile right there. So let's go ahead and open up Outlook. Now I'm logged in right now as user2 on the posydemo.com domain. So I'll go ahead and click on this. and that will open up Outlook 2016. Now, because this is the first time that Outlook 2016 has been used, we're going to have to go through a short wizard to get it set up and ready to use. So I'm just going to click Next on the welcome screen, and now we're asked if we want to use Outlook to connect to an email account. Yes, we do. So I'm just going to go with yes, which is the default choice, and click Next. And Outlook takes just a second here, and you'll notice that it found my email account by default without me having to do anything at all. So everything appears to be correct here. I'm just going to click Next. And then there is an automated process that has to occur. I'm prompted to confirm that I want to proceed, so I'm going to click Yes. And this takes just a moment to complete, so I'm going to pause the video. And it looks like everything's finished, so I'm going to click Finish. And after a brief delay, I'm taken into my mailbox, and you can see the first things first pop up. I'm going to go ahead and accept the license agreement, and I receive a notice saying that Office hasn't been activated, but that's okay because I can always go back and activate Office later on. But that's how you go about installing Office 2016 and logging into Outlook.